Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today, I'm very excited because we have a voice for the voiceless. Liz Aday is joining me today. So give her a round of applause. And we're going to kick off with one of her tracks called Call the Police.
You are the sugar in my fuel tank. I'm the thorn in your side. You're a restraining order waiting to happen. Say what we have here is problematic, volatile at best. Oh, I know it's out of hand, out of my comfort zone. It don't take a degree to understand you and me are toxic combination. But if you don't stop creeping me, I'm gonna have to call the police. If I could see you through a rear view mirror, you might look small and further away than you are. Really, actually, you see I'm pulling up stakes to strange claims that crept up on me, seemingly, suddenly. So let bridges of fire light the skies tonight, 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 tonight. The red flags, the gut feels, no can't decode, can't conceal the toxic situation. And if you don't stop meddling, I'm gonna have to call the police. So call me a bitch, a drama queen, as long as you stay well away from me. Has anyone ever mentioned to you anything about boundary issues? Got a feeling it may have come up a time or two. Ooh, hey. La la la, la la la. Hey, zippity-dibby-dibby-dibby, creepy cuckoo, dibby-dibby, boundary issues, cuckoo. Uh-oh, here we go.
What's going on, my friends? Welcome to the show. My name is Jade. As you know, this is How to App on iOS. And that was our special guest today with a very old, well, not very old. I think it's the title says here, Call the Police, my first single in forever. And we have Liz Aday finally on the show. How did I come across Liz Aday? Well, I'm going to tell you in a second, but I want to welcome you all here if you're watching here live. Thanks for being here today. We love you all, and you know what we do here on the interviews. About half an hour into the show, we'll do the name calls, give you time to, sit down, relax, grab your coffee, take your benzos, whatever it is that you take that helps you get through the minute of the day. You do you, boo, and we'll just do here and sit here and talk hopefully some fascinating stuff for you. We'll give you a shout out soon. We've got a rad show. How did I come across this artist today? Let me tell you. So I was perusing Facebook one day and I came across this person doing a live stream going and went, hang on a minute. And had to stay and watch because, you know me, I'm a sucker for something very interesting, someone unique, somebody that is doing something outside of the box. I get sucked in like a vortex and I can't escape. And this is how I found our guest today, Liz Aday. And then a little bit later on, I found out that Chad, who's here in our chat, was playing her also. And I was like, good deal. We got another Aussie, or Aussie American, whatever you are. I'm gonna claim her as my own because that's what we do here in Australia. Yeah, we just claim everybody as our own. Even if they're from New Zealand, especially if they're from New Zealand, we just take them. So it's very excited to have her on the show. And I can let you know now, we've got 2 premieres from her today. 2 premieres. Very excited. Very, very excited. We're going to go through some of her catalogue of songs and find out all the fuck about her. There's the first F-bomb for the day. All right, so let's get demonetized as usual, everybody. Remember, if you want to support me here, the demonetization fund, the swear jar is open because nearly every one of these interviews gets demonetized. It used to be for copyright claims. Now it's just for swearing. All righty. So without further ado, it's very early here in Australia. So firstly, Liz has got up at crazy o'clock, just like me, to come and do this. Thanks, Leela, for posting the Super Chats link there so you can go and do all that stuff. All right, without further ado, let's get all my buttons right. We got everything good. Press all the buttons at the same time. Let's welcome to the show for the first time, and not the last time, let me tell you that, we have Liz Aday and boom. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Good day.
G'day, mate.
Good day, mate. Should be right.
Got my coffee cup with the... Mine's a little bit more sweary than yours.
Oh, I missed the C. Yeah. I was like, UNT, is that uni?
The C's the handle. Cheers. Oh, here's to coffee.
Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. And thank you for finding me. I'm so happy.
It's interesting, I'm very picky with the music I listen to. And I have very specific tastes and they have to be quirky. I have to get some kind of,
yes, the
yeah, and you gave me that.
Aw, I'm so happy I gave you the
It's a new thing. But no, there you were over on Facebook. How long have you been over there on Facebook sludging away through the Facebook sludge to try and get people to engage with what you're doing?
Well, it really was 2020 when we locked down here and I couldn't get back to America to be with a family member who is in hospice. And so this was our way of connecting, was doing, it actually started out with jazz standards and dressing up with the Atomic Era, blah, blah, blah. Just open the real book and, doing the big, labor of love spit curls at night and everything wet set all the way. Liz Taylor, Lucille Ball.
I love
it. But that was the start.
Hello.
Sorry, keep going.
Oh, I thought that was me. What did I do now?
No, it's me. I was putting this up while you're talking.
Oh, all right. Okay. Oh, yeah. So there it is. That's a newer... clip, but it started out really real booky, and I had just a little crappy Android phone that I got from Woolies.
From Woolies.
And it wasn't even a good one. It was I just started teaching at a school in Maitland, I just bought like the mid-range one, and I was using the ambient. I just plugged in my PA and I used the ambient mic on that crappy phone. And I was like, I had students online, and I scheduled I had a schedule with the little alarms, and I'd forgotten I had those set. So during the shows, it was like, oh shit, oh shit.
Now, they're very adventurous shows. Like, you mix things up and you have a wheel. I'm used to having a wheel on my Patreon. I have a wheel that I spin each week. You can't go past a wheel, I think.
I'm a sucker for a wheel.
So am I. What is it about a wheel that floats your boat, Liz?
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. My
Yes.
wheel was, the spontaneous, what was it? Spontaneous. No, that was the songwriting one. It was musical disaster wheel, and it had a little jingle and everything. I haven't done musical disaster wheel in a long time, but yeah, I think I'm going to have to
It's got to come back.
resurrect that. Yeah, it's going to make it come back, because the danger of it was just unknown. The wheel is spoken, it's like, you got to go with what it says randomly.
Well, fans of my channel know that I'm an absolute sucker for danger. I've been talking about it for 3 years on this channel, that the danger out of music is gone. And, I always go back to the 80s and go, look at that time period, right? Now, there's a lot of cheese back then, but it was like everyone was on so much coke and feather boas and everything that we didn't give a shit about gender mixing and all this stuff, because everyone was just dangerous and they just went for it. And, and unfortunately, the come down came in the 90s with Nirvana and everybody heroined themselves out afterwards. But do you think danger's missing from music these days? Do you think it's like we've become too homogenized?
Right. That's a really odd question. The thing is, I see now I'm just really out of touch, because I've become way more of a hermit than I am naturally, which is quite profoundly hermity. So I'm really self-absorbed, and I'm, like you said, you're very particular about listening to music. I've been inside my own box for a bit too long to really give you a good answer. But when I was teaching music and the kiddies were bringing things to me and saying, oh, this and that, I could argue that there's some really good music coming out now. But danger, shoot. There's something I heard recently that really floated my boat, and it was a strange mix. I don't know. It was on I joined my Patreon to find out, because I posted about it a while back. So in answer to your question, I'd say maybe, here and there, indie stuff, probably, if you scratch around, you might find it. But I think in general, if you turn on the radio, which is something I just don't do anymore.
Yeah, well, there's no incentive to turn on the radio these days. There's so much advertising and so much rotation of the same shit that you just get.
Yes. Yeah.
You just get hearing the same stuff over and over again, to the point that you hate the song that you liked in the beginning. That's when I stopped listening to music. So you'd hear a single and be like, I really love this, go and get it. Yeah. And then it's on all the time and you're like, I hate this song now. I'm going to burn the CD. Fuck off.
What's a CD?
What's
that?
Let's not confuse people.
Is that like one of those financial planning things?
The irony is, we're going to have vinyl is making a bigger comeback than CDs, and before long, we're all going to have record players. I can feel it. It's coming.
I've got one. Yeah, I quite enjoy them.
There's nothing that beats. Well, here's the thing. I do, app reviews here with a lot, with apps, and there's so many apps that come out that adds, their whole purpose is to add record scratching to your songs. And add those. So we have gone completely backwards, where everybody's like, but I want that authentic sound of dust. And it's odd behavior.
I'm super into that lo-fi thing. I will be doing, right now I'm writing for 2 albums and I'm working on a 3rd. And so with all these singles and everything, but a lot of it is lo-fi on the horizon, kind of a bedroom pop lo-fi kind of situation. So. But yeah, I am a friend to the vinyl filters. I must have them.
I like the idea of hermity pop.
Well, yeah, that should be a genre, because sick bed, hermit, bedroom pop. It's like hybrid.
All right, I'm going to get serious now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, don't worry, it's only for a minute. Liz Aday, what does music mean to you?
What does it mean to me? It's everything. It's air. It's my outlet. It's therapy. It's a way to love people. It's how to show up. It's a way to use your superpowers. For most of us, creatives are painfully shy or damaged in some way, if you know what I mean.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, and I think that it's our way to have a superpower, and it is definitely mine. Yeah, I could dig deep into that, but I'd say it's those things to me off the top of my head with just 2 coffees.
And what would your superpower be if you actually could have one?
If I could, like we're talking like Marvel Comics.
Well, whatever. It doesn't have to follow the standard template of what we're fed by Disney these days.
No. Let's see. I would say, oh dear. Oh, and just one?
You can have how many you want. You can be like Heroes, the TV show, like Sylar. He had
Great
heaps of them.
series.
He just
I love
took.
that.
He just. Oh, it's my favorite series of all time.
I hadn't thought of that in a long time. Yeah, I was like addicted to that. Shit. I think that I'd like to have. I'd like to be the only one that can time travel because if that got out of hand and other people had that, we would be in a world of shit. But
you'd be stepping on butterflies every second.
Don't do it. don't do it. Yeah, no, maybe that. But I'd say, yeah. What?
That's good
I'm
enough.
Overwhelmed. Yeah. Okay. I find that question overwhelming.
Your answer would be time travel and to be less overwhelmed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'd like that one. Less anxiety, the power to turn it off on command.
Yes.
Give me that superpower.
That would help with insomnia, I think.
Yeah. Do you recall the music that was played in your household growing up that you would hear on the radio or in the background that your parents may have played or family members? And who were some of the artists that were played in your family?
Gilbert and Sullivan.
Nice.
Yeah. If you ever haunt my YouTube channel, you'll see a recent video that I posted of a bootleg of my mother in 1980 singing La Dame au Stay, Mozart. And so she is a very gifted vocalist. But yeah, classical was her main jam when I was a kid. And so she was always starring in the local operas and whatnot. So she was not only the first music that I had, but it was also, my first musical influence was my mother. As far as being an artist around me or, being exposed to another artist, it was my mother and her mother, who is also an opera singer. There it is. Mummy.
Well, you can see where you get your beautiful looks from Mum there.
Oh, stop.
Flattery gets you everywhere.
Indeed.
Wow. Wow. All right.
It gets wild. I mean, seriously.
Well, I'm going to let everyone else go and find it because we've got a show to do. But there you go. You've got a preview there. So, your mum, opera, and Gilbert. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Gilbert and Sullivan. That was the first.
It is working.
Yeah, it is. Good on ya. It's early. The Mikado, the Gilbert and Sullivan was my first a big album obsession. I had the vinyl, and then I was going to watch her. She was Yum Yum in the Mikado.
Nice.
So cute. It was so cute. So yeah, it was adorable. But I was obsessed. I was backstage and going, wow.
Anything else that you recall? Played?
Yeah, well, there was that. We went to church and we sang in church a lot, and I was painfully shy. But again, the superpower. I had to share. I had to get up there. I had to get involved with the music and get up there. And mother and I used to sing in church, of course in the pew, but also we would get up and, sing for the people. But then my brother brought home a Pat Benatar album, and that changed my trajectory, much to the chagrin of my mother. I'm like, Mother, she has classical background. She's like, she's just yelling. I mean, that's not exactly what she said, but she's like, Anne and Nancy Wilson came around too, from Heart. And then it was just like, what is this? You're going to get stuck like that.
But she's yelling at me.
Oh, she's yelling to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I was so it just made, I mean, as much as my mother moved my skin, when I say move my skin, I mean like, the chills and that feeling that you get on your skin when you hear something really profoundly amazing. Pat Benatar did the same thing. I was just like, wait a second. That's tough. That is tough. That is tough. I want to be tough like that. Because before that, I just heard the Police and things like that, which I loved. My brother was super, and that was his Pat Benatar was the Police. He listened to the Police and the Psychedelic Furs over and over. Loved it, Talking Heads and all that stuff. But then when I heard the woman voice with all that fire and that command, I was just like, what? So I went to the Church of Pat for many, many years.
Church of Pat.
And I became an impersonator. I used to do gigs doing that. So that was quite amazing for me. I mean, it was like a great big sandbox for me to get out there and pat drag and just pat it up and to the patitude peoples. And I was just like, so fun.
Pat drag. I've heard a lot of names for drag in this time. I've never heard Pat drag before.
Oh yeah, it took a lot of doing because I always had super long hair, and I used to wear the little pussycat wigs that those little pixies that she wore, and I had one, and I also did Annie Lennox, which was even more hair hiding situation. I used to wind it, but like the old timey hairdos and underneath the wigs, and yeah.
I was saying to my friend Russ, who's here in the audience, before the show, that going through your photos, when I was waiting to get your photo I was like, because I will always go and look just in case I need to grab one. And folks, remember, if you are a member of the channel, we've got 2 Liz Aday emojis. So bang them into the chat and they'll float around the screen and be everywhere. So you have at that. But when I was looking through your photos, you're different in so many of your photos. You look like a completely different person. I'm kind of like that too myself. I go back through my photos and go, who is that person?
I've been called a shapeshifter.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's part of show business, eh?
Yeah, you have to reinvent yourself. Yeah, so they're all little yous floating around on the screen.
Somebody get like some Glen 20. It's like...
you get used to it after a while.
Oh no.
Some people don't. I get complaints all the time going, all those stupid things floating around the screen. It's like, I class those as the beach balls for the audience to throw around when they get bored.
Oh, that's cute.
You got to give your audience something to do.
I love it. Oh, I'm up for that. I'm just a noob. So it's just another world.
Do you recall what was the first album that was given to you as a gift and the first one you bought as a little Liz Aday with your pocket money?
I'd say the first album I ever got was, I want to say it was definitely, it's funny you mentioned Disney a moment ago, but Disney I was obsessed with. I would do anything for those records. And I want to say Bambi, probably, maybe. I don't have my Bambi cup with me. That's my chamomile tea cup, but this is my coffee cup.
You have a specific cup for specific drinks. I like that.
Oh, hell yes. Yeah, Bambi, I'd say, was my first, because they would, I was kind of a sickly little child, and I hated going to the doctor and doing things and going to hospital and stuff. And I remember being motivated by those big Disney vinyl records.
Yes, they were very sexy. That's probably not the right word to use for Disney.
No, enticing, just so lush. It was
better.
so tactile. It was just like you'd have this big world to open up and look at, and yeah.
And they always had, like, I used to love the Disney storybook discs where and Tinkerbell would tell you when to turn the page and go, bring, and turn the page. God, I'm a fairy. I love it.
I do too. Gorgeous.
So what about the one you bought with your pocket money?
I would say that was probably Crimes of Passion by Pat Benatar.
Of course.
Yeah. Because I had to get my own collection. So, yeah, I wound up getting all of those.
Do you still have your early record collection?
No, sadly, I've lost so much. I had different eras in my life. I had my childhood collection that is gone. And then there was my teenage vagabond traveling muso, kind of situation. And then that was like an angry boyfriend bust, like all this shit, all the drama. But yeah, and now, I'm sort of scratching some back together. My husband has heaps of them, so still. So but yeah, just I need to work on that, the vinyl.
We're going to play a track, and then we're going to come back and say hello to everybody in the chat, because I can see they're chomping at the bit with 30 people here at the moment.
I haven't even been paying attention.
I'll put up some comments during the track. So this is a Pretty Glass Cage. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this before I hit the play?
I don't want to talk too much, but I will. I could talk a lot about this one. We can do part of it and then maybe more later, because I don't want to take too much time yammering. But wrote this song for a brief for Taxi. Are you familiar? You must be.
Yes.
Taxi?
Yes.
Yeah. But I did it for a Taxi brief. They were looking for music for a film for vampires. But I was also, as I do with all my briefs and anything that I have to do, I tie it into something that's going on with me. And then in the end, it turned into meaning more than that. It's hard to get into without talking too long. But it was one of my goal songs for when I lost my voice. We'll talk about that too later.
Absolutely, we will. Let's play it. Let's Oge. This is Pretty Glass Cage. Enjoy. Oja. Wow. Just wow. Like,
Aw.
how are you not like, I say this all the time, how are you not like a chart topper right now? Jesus.
Oh,
Like, it's just rad. Your music's really, really good. Like, the quality is just top notch. You know,
I have to say one thing on that note. And I don't know if you're still out there, Drew.
he's here.
Is he still here?
Yep, sure is. There he is. I'm proud of this
Drew.
track he just said.
Drew is instrumental in my comeback or my emerging as a solo artist. And he's also my mentor. And he he also did that wicked drum loop on that song. And the mixing and mastering. And yeah, that's Drew. Thank you, Drew. Hi. It's lovely to have you here.
So good to see you. Thanks for joining us today, Digital Drew. I'd read like in your bio that he was a part of your journey, so it's really good to see him here. Let's say hello to everybody who's here as well in the chat. We've got Tristan Green. So folks, just type something so I don't have to go scrolling. Make my job easy. And I know you're all going to type something, the word something, because you always do. Independent Many United, Mars Capone, Mr. Smith. Hello, Mr. Smith.
Oh, hi, Mr. Smith. Hello.
Rise of Dark Leela. Thomas Christ is in the house, posting links, slinging links as he always does, because he's a legend. Ellen Hargraves is here. Chad Freeman's in the house. Tremor Bear, Bob Stewart. Legs, Ali is here. Doctor's Orders. I didn't do the Doctor's Orders intro. I've got to do it. Here we go.
Doctor's Orders.
There you go. There's your intro, Doctor's Orders. Some people just are special. They get intros. Ed B, Metal, Doug Kidder, Russ 8889, Pookie Ann, kisses to
Hi,
you.
Pookie. Hi.
Allison 2020's in the house. Joe and Barry Glenn. If I've missed it.
Allison. Oh my God, I'm sorry. That's another artist. She's a part of the whole Drew thing. We're in a little trio called Microscopic Bunnies. She's really talented. I'll turn you on to her too. And Drew as well, their music. Anyway. Hi.
Yes, please do. I'm always looking for really good artists to have on the show. Barry Glenn's here as well. I'm trying to make sure I got everyone. Doug Kidder. I hate forgetting people and leaving people behind. But if you don't write something and I don't see you, Rise of Dark Leela's in the house. I'd already said that, didn't I? I'm starting to turn into hippie. Boom, right on, good deal. All right, so I think I've got most people. Thank you all for joining us. You've come at a good time because you're not going to want to miss all the rest of Liz's songs. So, because we want to get Liz here into our YouTube community because she's over there trapped on Facebook. Playing to 5 people, what's the deal with that? It's almost criminal, as Thomas would say, criminally unsubscribed, or is that how he says it? I don't know. Kim Harden Hudson, hello Kim, good to see you. Ed Zielinski's in the house. Cool, we're just cleaning up the last few people. I think I got you all. Let's get back into it. Kim's blurking. I love that. That's a new word. Blurking. It's kind of like blanket lurking. Is that right? I think I got it right. All right, let's get into it. School. Now, you grew up in America, is that right?
Yeah.
How's that?
Why? I live in Australia full time.
Look, I lived in America for 2 years, and let me tell you, I love America.
Well, yeah, there's so much to love.
There is.
However, it's being sick in America is terrifying unless
Yes.
you're rich. And,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah. That's the one thing we have here. I mean, we are a mini America here. We're like the little engine that thought it could be America.
well, I could see bits of that coming and going. When I first moved here, there was no Halloween.
Yes, yeah. That's when I tell that to people, it's like, we don't have Halloween here. They're like, what? You don't have Halloween?
I know, people get
Yeah.
shirty about it here. They're like, that's American.
Yeah.
Ugh.
We do. Like the first time somebody knocked on my door here in Australia doing trick or treat, I was like,
The hell? What the fuck?
get off my front lawn, you
Get off my lawn.
little weirdos. But it's true. We do get weird. And, you know, it's kind of, there is a portion of Australia that tries to be America, except we have Vegemite. And I can see, are you a fan? Yeah, Dad, oh, that's so sweet.
Isn't it just?
Yeah. Are you a fan of the Vegemite?
I like it thick.
I'm too slow today. Really? You like it thick? I
do.
I like it lightly scraped on toast.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But I Vegemite a couple of years back, I think it was during lockdown, they had a contest for this jingle. They wanted a redo of the jingle. They're like, do whatever, And so I entered several. If you look on my channel, you will find.
Hang on, I've got one here.
Oh, you?
It's at the start of one of your live streams, I think.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, I put them all up there. They're all the Vegemite entry contest. I think I even put failed.
I need to find one now. So let's do I guess they have. Keep going while I find it.
Okay. Oh yeah, no. It was a lot of fun. And when things like that pop up and I've got some free time, I'll jump right in, like and like smash it as hard as I can, as many times as possible. And so I did it in a variety of genres and
You've got a playlist of Vegemite Ad contest losers.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I do.
Shall we have a listen to? Let's. No, we have to do it. Let's do it. And give it some air.
We all adore our Vegemite for breakfast, lunch, and tea. Mama say we growing stronger every week. Because we love our Vegemite, we all adore our Vegemite. It puts a rose in every cheek. Happy little Vegemite, bright as bright can be. All adore our Vegemite, breakfast, lunch, and tea. Mama say we growing stronger every week. 'Cause we love our Vegemite, we all adore. Oh yeah, it puts a rose in every cheek.
I'm playing them all. I don't care.
They're short.
Yeah. Enjoy our Vegemite for breakfast, lunch, and tea.
Mommy say we're growing
Stronger every single week. We love our Vegemite.
We all adore our Vegemite. It puts a rose in every cheek. How do you like your Vegemite?
Uh-oh.
Butter, toast, and tea. Cook up in, how do you tuck in? Smashed avocado and cheese. Heaps and heaps, just a little bit. We never get enough of it because we love our Vegemite. We all adore our Vegemite. Puts a rose in every cheek.
Oh, that one's sweet.
Feels hoist.
Right little Vegemite. Oh, bright as bright can be. Oh, breakfast, lunch, and tea. Mama says we grow stronger every week. Put a rose in every cheek. Because we love our Vegemite. We all adore our Vegemite. Oh, put a rose in every cheek.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is so goddamn rad.
You should have heard this fella who won. Wow, he was quite good. He was like some kind of super boss level Stevie Wonder. He was just like all these riffs and it was like Bruno Mars meets retro Stevie Wonder meets I don't know what, and it was just wicked. He was well deserved. I voted for him. He was quite good.
I'm not enjoying the direction Vegemite is going. They're trying to put Vegemite in everything these days, and it's like a lot of the things they put it in doesn't really fucking work. It's like
I just saw something. I can't remember what it was, but I was in Woolies or Coles or something, and it was just like
it's like something sweet. They're putting it with sweet stuff. It's like this is the saltiest thing on the earth, and you're putting it with it just doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Maybe they're hoping for the 420 crowd.
Yeah,
because I noticed Vegemite donuts or some crap like that. I was just like,
I do love Vegemite shapes. I have to admit,
I do too. Are you kidding? I love the shapes.
Except it gets all over your fingers.
Oh, you gotta have the cubs.
It's savage, very savage. Yeah. Well, most people have no idea what we're talking about, and that's just the way I like it. So, growing up in America, school. What was the first? Did you learn music at school? Was it a part of your curriculum? Like I ask everybody this, did you have to learn the recorder?
Yes.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes. Oh, anything that made noise was music involved. Yeah, that was my language. So yes, Yes, I love that. In fact, before we had, what was it? Preschool. It was before school, the really little sproggy school.
Kindergarten.
Yeah, before kindergarten,
Right.
preschool.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it was this let's see, they had a special guests come in, and they would either bring puppets or something, and this one would bring an auto harp,
Nice.
and I was like wrapped, I just was like, oh my God. And I was the weird kid that was just really introverted and everything like that. But when something like that happened, I would come alive and want to get involved desperately, to the point where I would ask teacher, can I please play a song that I wrote on the auto harp to the children? um, and I'd never touched one in my life. So, and they would say, yeah, and I would get up and just make some shit up and just go sit down and be back in my little quiet world again until the next opportunity to use my superpower happened.
It's funny, isn't it? Like we can be as geeky and scared and all this stuff, but when it's something we really love, the balls just drop in us and we just go balls out and we just go in and don't care.
It's so funny because I have people who've been following me as an artist for a long time, and they still don't understand that I am quite shy and I get socially overwhelmed, and my batteries run out kind of quick sometimes, and I can't, it's like I gotta go to my special place to cope. I'm like, I really struggle with anxiety and depression and stuff. And they're like, you don't, because I'm always bubbly and funny.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, unless I'm not. But even then, it's cheeky. But they don't understand that it's just like, this is. And so I've been coming forward with that, a little bit more awareness on this mental health thing, because I'll have to say lockdown really challenged me in that, the mental health department. So I'm looking for some kind of a charity or something to champion for a mental health advocate situation where I can like put a single out for them to raise funds. And I'm looking for somebody who can't afford commercials, somebody under the radar that's really getting their hands dirty doing things like that. So if anybody knows anybody,
I know one.
Do you?
I used to volunteer for an amazing one, and it's in your state too.
Okay.
Because I lived there for about 12 years in Sydney, and I volunteered for a place called Ankali. And Ankali is Indigenous for friend. And what they basically do is they match people up with people who are living with HIV dementia. And you become a friend. And once a week or once every 2 weeks, you just go and have coffee with this person because they're isolated. They have nobody to talk to in the gay community. They've been isolated. And and I was a part of that organisation for 9 years and volunteered my time. And it changed my life. It changed my life. And they're always looking for people who will do things to help just get them noticed because they get fuck all funding from the government, and what they do is invaluable. That it's rare that places specialize in such one-on-one love for a person. Just give somebody a friend just to go and it was a learning thing for me too, because I had to learn to shut up about myself and sit there and actually listen to somebody and be open-ended questions. And that's part of how I got into interviewing people.
Aw.
Because
lovely.
it's hard to shut your brain down sometimes, but it was a beautiful thing. It was probably one of the best things I ever did in my life. So I'll hook you up.
Thank you. I wrote it down. I've taken a note, and I will look into that. I'm definitely looking for that sort of a situation to write a song and donate money to.
So you had music lessons. What was it? What's the preferred instrument that you picked up? What was it, the main instrument that pulled you towards it, like a tractor beam in Star Wars?
I really wanted to play guitar, but I wasn't allowed. Now, it's not because my mother, but my father wasn't really keen on me touching his guitar. I wanted one so badly, and I wasn't really allowed to touch. I wasn't allowed to touch his guitar. And then my brother got a guitar for his birthday, and I was 30. I wanted it, so I used to trade. Chores to touch his guitar. You got electric, one of those electrics with the amp inside the case.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Yeah, that. And then so as soon as I was old enough and I'd scraped enough money together, I bought one. But before that, it was piano because we had a baby grand and then an upright as well. And I used to go to those, and that was my first instrument really, was the piano, and experimenting with that, cracking it open, playing with bloody strings inside, because that is magic. Inside the piano, that's a magic world right there. Underneath the piano as well, like banging on the ground and getting that, yeah, it's like nothing else.
Yeah, I think that people don't realize that there is a whole another instrument inside a grand piano that you can. I only know this because, like, I watch weird musicians who climb inside and stand on those things and make stupid music with lots of effects on it and just bang all the inside of the piano. I love that stuff. You've got to think outside the box and make music because, there's only so many notes in a scale.
Yes. Well, I didn't know I was doing that when I was doing that. I was just doing that because I lived way out in the bush, and I didn't have no friends out there. I had 2 older brothers and a younger sister. And, we were all, we get along sometimes, but I was really a loner.
So out of school, did you move into a band? Was playing bands and hitting the stage and doing all the, the root stuff that a lot of people don't do these days because we've got here and people just go straight onto YouTube and start performing. I feel like a lot of people miss out on that. Did you do the hard slog, pay your dues in bands?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I started my first band, I think I was probably 12. And we used to write original music. And the only one I can remember was Bigfoot. There was a song about Bigfoot. And that was because it was a spontaneous song time thing, because my brother was mad at our practicing. He was banging on the walls. And I said, oh, it's Bigfoot's footprints sounds. Boom, boom, boom. So I was made a song from that. That's the only. Oh, and I wrote a song about a puppet, my puppet. But and then in school, I had a little band. We would go because I got kicked out of public school.
You legend.
I was just a terror.
What did you do?
I was okay. Back in my day, they had a smoking section in school, and this was like, wait, hold on.
We had
maybe
one
not
too
in the
at my
junior
school.
high. Yeah. Well, those kids. I started hanging out with those kids, and they were older than me, and they were all the artists and band and musos and whatnot. And they were, of course, fascinated me. And I used to gather around and sing Pat Benatar covers to them as loudly as I could. And I remember sitting in front, because we would have break and they would be in front of this, and the teacher would come out, could you please, that's lovely, darling, but could you please dial it back a bit? Because I'm hell is for children out here, getting to the pentacle, the big moment in hell is for children. But eventually that led to some band situations and
situations, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got kicked out, and then I got kicked out of school, and then they put me in the private Christian school, which was big fish, little pond.
Yeah.
And that's where all of us weirdos went. And in the end, I got permission to use the Fireside Chapel PA system. Now. So my band and I went in there, and of course we were doing Hell is for Children, among other songs. And I was at the hell is for hell, hell is for hell, hell is for children part of the song, which is a wildly misunderstood song, by the way. And it terrified the janitor, who then told the principal and a bunch of other adults that came out and were like, your privileges have been revoked. And I said, but it's about child abuse. It's about helping the They just didn't hear me. They just heard hell. Me screaming hell, 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 hell. It frightened them.
You can't talk about child abuse in the walls of religion.
Well, you could.
A little close to home. I'm going to get cancelled for that.
Hello. Yes.
So you've lived a life of being banned everywhere.
Yeah, well, you could say it started out that way.
And any time in prison?
Nope, just in here.
Right. Hey, that's at least you can still eat Vegemite. So,
Yeah.
all right. Shall we play a song? Shall we do
Let's
a song?
do it.
Let's
do it.
let's play a premiere. Let's do it.
Okay.
This is called She'll Be Right. Am I correct?
Yeah, this is a premiere. This is unlisted. I just cranked this one out. I wrote this song a while back, and then I met Chad the Good from the Ham Show, and he showed me that people will like my music, and I didn't think anybody cared, so I stopped doing YouTube. So I started doing YouTube videos again, and I just cranked this one out for all of you.
I'm excited. I haven't heard it yet. You only just gave it to me before the show. Let's just do it. Let's dive in. Are you ready, everybody? Premiere. This is She'll Be Right. Liz Aday. Everything's good. We're ready to go. Let's oge. Boom.
I think it's time for something better, don't you? Open a window, open a door. Let some light in. Something in the breeze is speaking to me, saying it's alright, hold your head up. Maybe try something unexpected. You've been wishing and hoping, so take some action. Should be right, should be right. I think it's time, a good time to start again. An empty picture, aching for painting. Choices to make, paths to take. Something in our dreams has been echoing, saying it's alright, hold your head up. It's a new day. Maybe check something unexpected. You've been wishing and hoping, so do something right now. It should be right. 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 Get yourself in the sun, better clear your head up. Get yourself in the sun, in the sun. Get yourself in the sun, better clear your head up. Get yourself in the sun, in the sun. Get yourself in the sun, better clear your head up. Get yourself in the sun, in the sun. Get yourself in the sun, better clear your head up. Get yourself in the sun, in the sun. Should be right. Should be right. Should be right.
Wow.
Oh,
Jesus.
I was so dirty because I had gone to Nobby's beach and got all
Nobby's?
this, all this footage of my feet. I saw what you did there. I
Always innuendo over here.
oh my God. I'm too slow on the uptake. Gotta, but the Nobby's, I went to Nobby's beach and got some really great footage of the sand and the sun. It was a lovely day and everything. And I lost it. I deleted it on accident. I thought I uploaded it to my Dropbox and deleted it, and like deeply deleted it because my phone is always. I know Drew, I saw Drew still out there. Hi Drew, thanks for sticking around, but everything is content. You gotta like everything. And,
It's so true.
Yeah, so I'm like always at capacity with my phone.
Yeah.
But,
Juggling that last 200 megabytes.
Right, I know. And then it's just, and then you gotta delete all the always. Yeah. So yeah, it's time for a new phone one of these days. But it's on, as far as the list of things that I gotta pay for, it's like way down under the floor. So, but anyway.
Well, we were talking yesterday, you know, and I know I've mentioned a couple of times that you're over there on Facebook, slogging it away, doing these amazing live streams. And I was saying to you yesterday, you know, you got to get your ass over here, start doing live streams over here. I think it's great that Chad's been playing you. We want to get you playing on a whole bunch of shows here. We have so many great shows here on YouTube, like YML and Thomas Christ, who's here in the chat, my head moderator. We've got Metalhead Hippie, all these great shows that, you know, and I've already made up a template for you that I'm going to email you after the show with links to all these people and their forms, because your song should be in this community and far and wide across this community. And you should be doing live streams here, because I'm telling you, people are going to come over and watch. Hit me up with a 1 in the chat, guys, if you're going to go over and watch Liz Aday live doing live streams and singing her awesome music.
Oh, my live shows are stupid.
Exactly. Perfect. That's what we want. No, we need more female artists here as well. You know, there's a lot of cock swinging that goes on in all music industries.
And my show.
And your show. And she's got a big one. What am I talking about?
Don't get me started. Are you watching, Mother?
Hi, Mum. So I apologize for the swears. Lots of ones in the chat. Good on you guys. So you're playing gigs. You come out of school. You got all these instruments under your belt. When do you move to Australia?
2012?
Wow, that long ago.
13? Yeah.
Was it a culture shock when you landed here?
It was a happy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it was weird leaving everything, all my roots behind, and it was before the vocal cord palsy, so I was like just burning to just, you know, I had well in advance made contact and with the booking agency for, you know, work doing covers and stuff. You know, I didn't know what else to do. I was really ensnared in the cover world at the time. Mm-hmm. So which is something I still enjoy a cover, believe me, but I like to just destroy it and do my thing to it.
Yeah, I played the Billie Eilish one yesterday on my show to lubricate everybody before today's interview.
Yeah. So I like to switch things up a bit if I can. That was unfortunately a bad experience. So coming back to paying your dues in a new place, you know, you can't just like come to a new country and just expect everybody to employ you and respect you and all this shit. But I struggled to get, and then I lost heart too. And I just kind of stopped, and I just didn't really know what to do with myself at the time. So starting from scratch was difficult, you know.
Yeah. Were you shocked when you got here and there weren't snakes and kangaroos on every corner?
Nah, no. But I was shocked by the huntsman. That was shocking.
Oh, but have you grown to love them now? I have 3 of them in my lounge room right now. One of them sitting on my couch. It's right above my head. It's about the size of my hand. It's called Lawrence. And I'll tell you a story. I woke up one morning next to my partner, and my partner said, "Don't move." I was like, "Why?"
Lawrence is on you?
And this was another spider a long time ago. And and she goes, "Don't open your eyes." And I opened my eyes, and there was one sitting on top of my face. And it was
on your face.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I might have issues with that. Yeah. I'd struggle with that one, just to be honest.
But, you know, hey, you got to let them move in because they do good.
I know. Well, they eat the redbacks and things. So
they do.
I had a lot. I had profound arachnophobia as a child. You know the little what is it? Penny spiders and the money spider. What do they call them? The little cute. Yeah. They're very cute. Jumpies. They're like little cartoons.
Yeah.
They could corner me. I would be cornered. but now, so it was baptism by fire here with the huntsman, and there was some other big ass, like, 7 time zone having black spider that just looked like an asshole.
The funnel web.
Oh no, it wasn't that guy.
Oh, right,
No,
right.
oh, for fuck's sake.
Fuck the
No,
funnel
no, no.
web.
Yeah, no, those guys are. I've never seen one in person except for the Australian Reptile Park behind glass.
Well, you live where they are. Like, I've seen lots of funnel webs, and when you see one, they rear up on their back legs and they hiss at you, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, I'm out of here.
Yeah, don't mess with the funnel web.
No, fuck funnel
What
webs.
these people collect them? You can collect them and take them to the Australian park and take so they can milk them. And I'm like, no.
Nah, you milk them, not me.
You collect them. Oh my God. I don't. Yeah, no, I haven't. I do walk carefully because I do think about them. And there are people down the street who've seen them in their garden. So I'm not much of a gardener here.
Good choice.
I do a little, but I don't get really adventurous and get my elbows in it like I used to. I don't do that here. I mean, and if I do it really mindfully. But
You can't even leave your shoes outside living in New South Wales. You leave your shoes out in the front step. You come out in the morning, put your feet in the shoes. There's a spider in there waiting to kill you.
yeah, the redback is in there. I'll send you to hospital right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, even my slippers, I'm really cautious of any kind of a shoe situation at all. Yeah, I always give them a good shake. Everybody out of there. This is perfectly legal. I'm evacuating you. I'm like, you're being evicted. Whoever, shake. Anybody? No. Okay.
This
no
is Big
takers.
Brother.
Sure? Then I'm like, smash. I'm warning you. I'm going to do the smash, the toe smash. You have a chance to live if you're in there. Okay. Smash. All good.
Is Big Brother. Your time in the shoe has come. You've been evicted. Goodbye.
Yes.
So you move here, you realize there's not kangaroos on every corner. You start to assimilate. You get a taste for Vegemite. Do you start playing gigs here?
Yeah, I did. And I liked Vegemite before I came here.
Oh wow. Because it's really hard to get. When I was in America, I couldn't get it. It was so hard.
I got it off in Australian. So, and then I found in one of the Seattle suburbs, they had a place called the Australian Pie Company, which was nice. There was real Australian food but it was hyper inflated prices for all the imports. But you could get your Tim Tams, and that was before you could get Tim Tams at Fred Meyer's or wherever in the Pacific Northwest. So
let's do a Tim Tam question. Do you do Tim Tam orgasms?
I don't know what that is, but I'm intrigued.
Where you bite one corner off.
Yeah.
One little corner off one end, and then off the other end, you bite the entire full width of it off, and then you dip the full width bit into your coffee and suck your coffee through the Tim Tam, and then throw the whole Tim Tam in your mouth and let it just melt into your mouth.
Okay. That sounds like next level goodness. I've done the straw, but I've not done that.
You got to throw it. You just throw it in and just.
Wow, that sounds delicious. I don't have any Tim Tams in the fridge. I have some mint slices there. Would work.
Alan Hargrave says Tim Tams work like that with port as well.
Oh, Alan. Now, Alan's a good friend of mine. He's a very talented songwriter, and I'm so happy you're here. And Drew's still here. I see. My God. Hi.
Yes.
And I saw Tommy DeBoard. I doubt you're still here because he usually clicks on my show and clicks right off. But
Tommy's still here, I think. Tom. And Camp G-May's joined us, and Hugh Caldwell, and a whole bunch of other people I may have missed have joined us as well. So Vivian Smiling. Thank you all for hanging out.
Yeah.
We've gone off on a chocolate chat, but I want to get to this because, all right, so I asked you about gigging in Australia. How did this go?
Well, like I said, that agency that I connected with, they were going to put me to work, and they put the show kind of put together. Like I went in there and we established a relationship overseas. Here's my crap, blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah. So I went there and had a little audition, I guess, with my ovation and my voice, and just do my thing. And they're like, oh, and at the time I was super. It was before the vocal cord palsy, and I was like all full of vinegar and
piss.
So I was rocking, and they were like, oh, let's do like a classic rock like thing around you. So we were going to do this classic rock thing. And by the way, I didn't know about the baby animals until then. And love. And that Vegemite, that rocker Vegemite one, I kind of was emulating
Right,
her
right,
a bit.
right.
I was channeling her a bit.
The puzzle comes together now.
Yeah, that tone in her little swagger. And she makes me feel funny inside.
She sure does. Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah. If you haven't heard the baby animals, folks, go do it.
Do yourself a favor.
You'll melt.
You will, more than a Tim Tam in the port and hot coffee. So yeah, I joined up with them, and we did. We had to pay our dues, and we did this. What was it? It wasn't a bolo. It was some tavern. I don't know, some pub, hotel somewhere.
An RSL was
something like that. Yeah, and it was rough. It was just rough, and the band just kind of imploded upon each other with personal issues before the show was even done, and it was just done. It was done, and I was so unhappy and embarrassed, and it just never. After that, I mean, now I'm blackballed by them, that agency. So I was off to a rough start. And then I did the Gumtree thing, looking around. And for you in the Northern Hemisphere, Gumtree is like what Craigslist is for you. Yeah. So I did that. And you know how that is. That's like dating, like it's just, no, it just sucks. It
hit
sucks.
And miss, dodge.
Yeah. So I joined a couple duos that way. I had some auditions that way. I auditioned for heaps of different things. And, I'm like, no, swipe. It just wasn't working. And then I found my duo partner who is just great. And he's still doing his thing. And I think he's going solo now too, because since I lost my voice, that's the duo I was in when my voice went down. And I couldn't work. That was terrifying. But he carried on and found, just had a couple of different women join up and sing. And but now recently I see that he's doing solo stuff. And once in a blue, he'll call me and see if I can fill in. And unfortunately, I say no a lot. But so I'm like, don't stop asking me. I appreciate you asking me, but I do say no a lot because I really want to put my energy into other things.
It's a hard slog doing gigs here in Australia. I mean, most people know my story. I started doing gigs when I was 14 years old. I was around when the scene was pumping. Melbourne was the place. Sydney was the try hard. Sydney always had poker machines or slot machines for those of you in the US, way before Melbourne. And now everywhere in Australia, you're competing against fucking slot machines. It's so irritating because you're up there, you're on stage, you've put all your heart and soul into this performance, and over in the background you see this 70-year-old person just dumping their life savings in this fucking machine that is playing this tune that goes clunk, 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 clunkety, clunk, 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 and it's like, I'm over here playing fucking real music, lady.
Yeah.
And I'm not wanting to take your money. What the fuck is wrong with our country? It is so
I want to take your money. I'll take the money.
All right, let me rephrase. I don't want to take you home.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't dream of it. Exactly. I'm with you. Yeah, one of my last gigs that I did through an agency here was at as a solo, because I was solo after that band experience that we were doing baby animals and stuff. It was fun until it wasn't, but they put me up. They're like, where do you set up? I was at some place. Have you heard of Tits on Toast?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it was a Tits on Toast joint. That for those of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere, that means they had topless waitresses giving you breakfast.
Yes.
Tits on Toast. So, but it was one of the, it was a really classy joint. And I'm like, well, where's the stage? I'm there. And Alan, you were there. Alan was running sound for me. If you're still out there, Alan was running. He provided PA and he ran sound for me. That was your birthday too. Remember that?
What a happy birthday for Alan.
Yeah, well, we didn't get to see any tits. I mean, ouch. But so that was like well after the gig. But they put me up right in front of slot machine, or just like ding, 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 gong, gong, gong. Holy crap. It reminded me of a time that I did a tour supporting a CD for a band I was in. See, now I'm doing solo stuff for the first time in my life, but I used to be in bands, and I was just like, just sort of fitting into that situation instead of just really being my authentic self like I am right now, off the leash. Pardon me for being buckshot all over the place, but you just reminded me of I did a Borders Books and Music tour.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
Yeah, because they would pay you a little bit of money,
They
and
do.
we would yeah, back in the day they would, and you would we slept in the van, and then once every couple of weeks we would get a room, and all that, and but at the Borders Books, I'll just never forget, they set us up in front of this book display of some, I don't even know. I mean, there's just always something. There's sensory overload there, but they put us in front of this display, and here I am singing my heart out with my partner at the time. It was like a duo, and she's just looking, and I'm standing there playing and singing hard, and she's just reaching around me, and she's like this close to my face and not making eye contact. No, excuse me. Not even, I mean, like that would make it better. I was like, I'm a living, breathing human being here, This is I don't get it. People are fascinating.
They are. They're weird. I did a Borders gig once, an acoustic show, and somebody complained.
Oh.
And I walked out going, yes.
Yay!
I got told off by the management at Borders.
Oh, you got in the naughty corner. You upset the apple cart at Borders.
Some old guy with his newspaper was sitting there going, excuse me, I'm reading a newspaper. It's like, well, fuck off. Go read your newspaper somewhere else. What do you think? This is a bookshop? Oh,
Right.
It is.
It happened to me a few times as well, because I was this was the album that I was supporting. It was my intention was to I wanted it to sound like 1981 production. I wanted, and I was definitely fully into my Pat Benatar resurgence. I was reliving my early Pat Benatar shaping moments, my school of Pat, my church of Pat, everything. And I had done a song on that album called Giant, which was an ode to my first time watching her live, which was sometime in the late 90s. And because she's a very diminutive, if you ever met her and touched her, like I saw somebody said they touched her, and I'm like, me too. I'm a small person. I am a fun-sized short person, but I was towering over her, and I had touched her hand. It was just like this little tiny thing, but she is just she's otherworldly. And I've lost my train of thought again. Oh yeah, the song. I wrote a song called Giant about Pat Benatar, which is cute because you know how small she is, but she is giant. Yeah. On stage. Yeah, she's just, her soul is massive. And but that's on that album. And so I was singing songs like that really hard, and and that song consequently led to me shaking her hand, which
touching
was
her.
A dream.
I want to touch her too. Let's play a song, and and it's going to lead into Vocal Cord Palsy. We want to.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to play this song because I like to do segues. This is called "I'll Be Okay." The title just seems the way into it, right? So we'll play this, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about this full-on thing that you have confronted head-on and just come out on top, which is very inspiring.
Thank you.
All right. You ready, folks? This is I'll Be Okay, and we'll be back with you in a moment. Boom.
I believe you know it's well past time to go. Couldn't handle another round, and I know it. Yeah, but I'm alright. No use in getting uptight. the rest. Despite the drama, I'm alright. I'm feeling right. I'll be alright. I'll be okay. Whether another storm, I'll be okay. It's a good thing for me. I enjoy my own company. I'll be right on the other side of this disaster. There's no one saying what's being said. It's on a loop inside my head. Now don't try it on. I am done. So not another wasted word. Despite the drama, I'm alright. I'm feeling lighter. I'll be alright. I'll be okay. Whatever tomorrow brings. Despite the drama, I'm alright. I'm feeling lighter. I'll be alright. I'll be okay. Whether the night done, I'll be okay.
If Liz Aday isn't now your favourite new artist, all right?
Ah. Oh dear.
'Cause she's I'll get violent on here because she's been mine for a while. It took me a while to reach out actually and ask you to come on, because I was biding my time, just going, you know what? It's always the right time. You just got to, you feel it's the right time to hit somebody up and come on here. And I'm a sucker for an inspirational story, right? Because on this channel, just so you know, Liz, when I started this channel, it was during the time of the inconvenience, as we call it here. So YouTube don't come and get us and say, you can't say that word. But it was 2020 and the whole world shut down and people were exploding, making music. They all of a sudden had time on their hands and they had nothing to do, but at the same time people were dying and there was so much confusion, and I wanted to create a channel that talked about this stuff and inspired people to make music. So that's why this channel basically exists. But before the inconvenience happened in 2017, you came across your own struggle. Tell us what went down.
Wow. I was in a very unhappy place before it even happened, and we still don't know why. We don't know the cause of what happened, but in my journey of wellness, there are some popular theories which I'll get into in a minute, but I think the unhappiness and the not being able to be my authentic self, and I'd lost my superpower before I lost my voice. It's just like I lost my mojo and everything was just kind of going to shit. And I was not a happy person. I was quite depressed. I was just like, the hermit thing wasn't working. You know what I mean? So I was at a gig at, I don't know, it was some yacht club somewhere with my duo. Matt Clack is his name, and it was called Sound of Sunday. He's still doing gigs around my area here in New South Wales. But I was at a gig with Matt, and I just was like, what? I think I'm coming down with something. I feel compromised. Hey, singers, you know what it's like when you got your warm-up songs and you're doing your warm-up songs and it's just like, oh, that doesn't feel right. I'm getting sick. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So it's like, I'm just going to get like some little throat thing, or maybe it's just the change in the weather and I'm just being precious right now. You know what I mean? And I'll just shake it off. But it didn't go away and it didn't get better and it got worse. And like my warm up was Sade, because I could roll out of bed and sing that Sade stuff any day, Nora Jones, that kind of thing. And I was at the gig. I'm like, something's not right. This isn't right. I'm not getting sick and my voice is getting worse. And it's worse in a new way. It's like, I've never felt this before. And it was funny because everyone around me, including my GP and my husband and my duo partner, they were like, they thought I sounded fine because I am a master at, anybody ever owned chickens? Like if there's something wrong with your chicken, they will hide it like a master, so I was hiding it like a master. And, but there was something really wrong. And so I went to an ENT. I went to the doctor who sent me to an ENT who told me I was hysterical and there's no way anybody could sing if they were presenting like I present so intense. And I'm like, I'm intense because my voice is missing. And people are telling me there's nothing the matter. That's freaking me out a bit, sir, And then after a couple failed attempts and some misdiagnoses, I wound up seeing a really beautiful soul and an excellent surgeon in here regionally. Professor Kelvin Kong saw me with a speech pathologist, and they were so gentle and loving and compassionate, and they understood my situation and how intense I was. I was in tears, I was just losing my shit because not only was my life kind of shaky, this was happening now. And I had taken my voice for granted. It was always this magnificent thing that was my thing that made me special,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't think of it like in the morning, like, wow, I've got this voice, I'm like, yeah, that's me, but now while it was falling apart and people were telling me that it was either, I was told I was getting too old to sing, and I'm like, that's, with all due respect, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
My mentor is and then look at Pat, for fuck's sake. I mean, God, she's
Look
still.
at Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like a corpse and he's still got more energy than all of us combined here today.
Oh my God, I don't go to concerts. I am social phobic and I'm very short and I don't like crowds. I don't like being engulfed by people. But I was gifted tickets to Paul McCartney recently when he came through Newcastle.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I didn't expect. Yes, I didn't expect this. I was thinking, oh God, love him. He's a legend. And I thought he was going to sit there on a stool, roll some videos, maybe croak out a couple ballads, with an old man vibrato. But he performed for 3 hours straight. I saw him take one drink of, I'm assuming, water. It was that or some kind of petrol. I don't know, because he was just like running around, playing this, playing that, doing like all the hits and then adding in the newest stuff that we didn't know. And he was just like, look, I know you don't know it. And I can tell because all your phones go dark and you all sit down, but I don't care. So here comes another, and it was great music, but it wasn't Wings and it wasn't, but oh shit, was that a good show? And I've lost my train of thought again. I don't know why we got onto Paul McCartney. Oh yeah, because the old thing, I couldn't keep up with that in my heyday. Yeah. He was just, yeah, I mean, wow, what a force. I don't know, maybe it's the vegan thing. I don't know, but so the vocal cord palsy. So yeah, I lost my voice and then they finally diagnosed. They're like, you're not losing your mind, because that was a popular theory too, that I was losing my mind, that it was in my head. And he said, you have unilateral vocal cord palsy. And I'm going to say palsy because I don't want to say it's paralyzed, because that's permanent. We don't want to say that. We want to keep it a positive attitude. Oh, look, there it is. Yeah.
If it's on the Mayo Clinic's website, it's fucking real, doctors.
Yeah, right. Well, they just couldn't see. And he said, to be fair, yours is tricky. He said it just doesn't present, again, the present thing. It's just hard to have it show up. But I do not understand it. I've looked at the scopes. I find it confusing. I don't know. But the apparently my left vocal cord doesn't, either it just twitches or it stops moving. And he's like, I worked with them for a few years, and first it was like, stop singing for a year, and I said, I can't promise that. But and I didn't. And at the time I couldn't speak. I'll demonstrate. I don't know if, are we going through my mic, or is it the room? We didn't even check.
I think we're going through. Yeah, we're going through your mic.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Good. I could speak about like this. This is about as loud as I could talk. That's about it.
And that alone is in a world of sensory overload. You're lost. You go to Kohl's, they ask you, how you going? And I'm like,
yeah, mate.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that was some pretty good ASMR there.
Thank you. I think I might start another channel.
Hey. So, once you get diagnosed, you've got an answer.
Yeah.
Where do you go from there? Like, does everything make sense? And because you defied the doctors, didn't you? Because that's your blood. That's what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, you got kicked out of school. you've got a reputation of being a rebel.
Yeah, the cry in the dark, so you can't see the tears.
You got Pat Benatar in your blood. You went against those fucking doctors, didn't you? Do tell.
Yeah, well, they said, well, I did quit the duo because I just couldn't do it anymore, but I didn't stop singing. I did for a couple of weeks. I did the voice rest thing, and that was tricky. You had to have the, but, and to write what I had to say. Arguing with that is quite a skill. But I, after the voice rest, and I was still feeling rough, my duo partner, Matt, suggested I go to this fella out in Musselbrook, which is a ways away. It's just a few hours away, in the middle of kind of nowhere, a rural area, inland. And he does magic, onsen bowen, massage. And it's, I don't know, it's like these two different arts of massage.
Yep.
And he said singers come from all over the world to come see him. And to be fair, I haven't found anybody else that does that combination. Yeah. Anyway, so I went, and he was just like, it's gonna help. And I went in there and with kind of low expectations. And I walked in talking like this, and then I came out like this. I came out being able to speak freely. It just, there's something that I think the emotional things that I was going through was contributing. I was not ever diagnosed with muscle tension dysphonia, but I think there was something muscular going on, just having been driving this bus for a while, just based on my experience. But of course, the vocal cord was still paralyzed, and I had fatigue, and my range was greatly impacted. I couldn't like sing again. Suddenly I could sing more, which was good because I had like a very short range. I used to do exercises each morning. I'd get up and I would blow bubbles for 30 minutes before I opened my mouth to speak. And then after that, I would do my sirens with whatever voice. Yeah.
Yep.
With whatever voice I had. And so I did that religiously. And I watched, what was it? It was called Fat, Sick, and Desperate. I can't remember. It was an Australian guy. He did a doco about juicing. It was a juice fasting. Oh yeah, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, I think is what it was called. But it was like all these people with all these, I don't know, like illnesses, and going on these juice fasts. And I started doing that as well, and like all kinds of things. Where is he? Yeah.
I think that's
Oh,
him.
it looks like that might be a series. Yeah, was that him? It doesn't look like him.
Maybe it's not. Maybe this guy's ripping him off.
Might be. Oh, Joe Cross is his name. That's
Joe.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There he is. There. This is him here. I think. Does that look like him?
No,
No.
that's not him.
God, they're all ripping him off. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Joe Cross is actually the name of the fella. This is a different Joe Cross, an American Joe Cross in Kansas, America, in America. He's the fella who introduced me to Pat Benatar. I just had to say that out loud. Joe Cross, different Joe Cross. So, yeah, back to the voice. So I did this thing where I would just sing along with Barry White. And it was funny because you'd think that some of the range that would be mostly affected would be the higher stuff, but I had this really reedy thing going on. So there was that up there. So I was still had some of this, but the stuff in this area was really locked down until I got that massage. I don't know, man. After that, I just continued with what I had at that given time because it's a really slippery, weird disorder. And it just felt like so many things were affecting it that I just had to get my bearings. And the doctor said, "You are an enigma. I don't know," or something to that effect. It was just like, you are, I can't remember. It was like some complimented me on my technique and everything was very, very clean, no calluses, anything like that. Even though if you dig on other channels, I have promo of me screaming like filter songs and scream tone stuff, which is I've had many people come forward and say, well, it's because of that, that's why you've got, I'm like,
of course.
Aw, yeah. God bless you. Yeah. So but at the time I had this, I could still do that. And it's like, where did that come from? And I said, being an old, stubborn showgirl, because you have to show up. I mean, shit, I barely made it here today. I had a crushing, I also have chronic migraines, and I had a crushing migraine yesterday. It's been a while since I had one. And I was just like, oh God, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be fine. But you just got to show up. Show must go on, right?
Absolutely. Like, again, people know my story here. I have a debilitating blood disorder and was told by doctors, you're going to die, put your affairs in order. And, the brain is an incredibly complex thing. You hear stuff like that and you go, shit. And there's like the Led Zeppelin song says, there are two paths you can go by. And I fell down the wrong path and I went down that right side and was like, yep, I'm going to die, and just basically let it take over. But as soon as you're able to overcome that and go, you know what? No, it doesn't work that way. Like you can't, nobody can tell you that this is the end. Nobody can tell you that you can't overcome this. I've seen so many people overcome things that are just ridiculous. Like, how can you ever overcome that? The brain, the human, it's just incredible what we can achieve. And you have done that.
I just don't know. I mean, like, again, I don't know how, except for I took it extremely seriously. I quit coffee. I quit and all refined foods, which is hard.
Yeah.
It's in everything. Sugar is in everything. I quit, and now I'm a lot more lax now. But at the time when I was, on my mission, what I want to just give you a little example of what it feels like, what it felt like, or what it feels like sometimes still. When you've got like something is like you're at a funeral or somebody, is really broken your heart, or you just really got to cry, like big, ugly cry. That's what it feels like in your throat, like that wiggly, like unsure, that little, like, I can barely, you know what I mean? Yep. That's what it feels like inside. At least that's what it's been like for me. So just learning to become friends with that. I'm like, okay, I see you. Let's make music now. So we're gonna work around it. And I did broadcasts, even though I wasn't, doing this is way before COVID. I was doing Second Life shows with my little avatar. And I found my healing place in Second Life, which had healed me before when my partner died suddenly from a brain aneurysm in 2011.
What the fuck?
Yes, 2011. I had to think about that, but yeah. So I was homeless after that. We were already sucking rocks. And then he died and left. Like I was fucked.
Whoa.
But Second Life raised money for me to move into a little cottage in the back of a friend's house, and yeah. So that's a whole nother story. But so why am I talking about
I noticed
that?
you're a big Second Life person. I see.
That's it.
I was IMVU.
You what?
I was on IMVU. Oops, my mic's getting screwed up. I was on IMVU, the opponent of Second Life. It was like
I don't know that one.
Yeah, that's similar but different. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, if I would have known, I would have sniffed that out. But because I was like looking for gigs. Funny. Second Life, the highest paying gig you can get is pretty much 20, well, maybe less now. So somewhere around the $20 mark for an hour. So I've been holding out for gigs that'll pay me that, because buy me a snitty and I'll sing for you.
Buy me a schnitzel.
A schnitzel with no chips.
A schnitty, mate.
Just a schnitty and no chips, no drink, just a schnit.
So this must have been like, I'm just swapping mics because I think my battery's dying in my wireless.
Okay.
I didn't plug it in yesterday. So on top of all of this, like dealing with all of this vocal drama that comes your way, you've got, depression, anxiety on top of that.
Trauma.
Like, was there a moment when you felt like you'd broken through? Because sometimes I know I had a moment. I had people, I guess sometimes they confuse it with maybe seeing God or something, but we all have these epiphanies, and I had an epiphany, and how it broke me out of this spell where I was virtually killing myself. It was when I started hearing voices in my head because I was doing drugs to compensate for the pain.
Yeah.
And then I started hearing voices because I was doing meth. And that was it. When somebody went, there's nothing actually happening. You're hearing shit. It was like, what? I'm losing my mind. It's time to crawl out of this fucking hole. What am I doing? And that was my epiphany. Did you have one of those?
Little death. Yeah, I call those little deaths.
Little death,
and
nice.
Huge series of them. In fact, I've just had one during Christmas, and I'm in the middle of pulling out of a spiral. But what gets me through is, music, of course. And also, are you still there, Drew? Alan and Drew, my friends.
Yep.
I'm in this, I remember I was at the end of my rope, and I was just feeling, because I had just been to America after they opened the borders. And I finally was able to kind of grieve properly the death of my stepfather, who was just a treasure. My mother's late husband, the beautiful, magnificent Donald J. Day. And so I was finally able to go there, and I was filled with beans coming back to Australia. I was there for 6 months. So I come back with all this fuel in my tank, and then I got super sick. I was sick in America as well. But I've been having these migraines. Like I'd say pretty much 2022 and 2023, I had a migraine.
Right.
And
that's a long migraine.
Yeah, either it was just a low grade one that made me nauseous and dizzy. Because now we've discovered, since I've come home, seen heaps of neurologists, that I have vestibular migraines, which cause the room to spin like you've just had a bunch of vodka on an empty stomach.
I was going to say, what is in that?
It's vodka. Nobody knows. It's moonshine.
So classy. I love it. At least it's past 9 a.m. now. So.
The sun's over the yard. I'm somewhere. Why? I'm from the cocktail generation. Yes.
So the beautiful thing is, what I'm so super stoked about is that you are singing again.
Well, yeah.
And like it feels like just from your story, you're producing some of the best stuff you've done.
I have to agree that the music that I'm writing and the way that I'm able to record it, and I was just about to segue into that, was because I was just about to talk about my Zoom group that saved my life.
Yes, tell us.
I was alone, frustrated, sick, but then I was just like, come on, girl, get up, do something, and I'm like, but I'm so sick. And I'm like, fuck that. Set up your recording studio in your bedroom and in my she shed. And where all my puffy things are, and my stuffy toy and everything, just set it up in there. And since I was spending all my time lying down sick, I was like, well, then we're just going to start recording. And I did call the police and some others that haven't seen the light of day yet. And I'll like get into that if we want to later, but call the police was the first. And I was laying down like this with the mic set up like this in my face. And I was, you are the sugar in my fuel tank, and that was me with a 5-alarm headache, getting up to throw up in between takes, and just sick as hell, with the, like Drew mentioned earlier, cobbled together situation, getting pretty dirty stems. But anyway, so I just was like, this is I think I actually thought I was going to die. I'm like, I'm so unwell. They can't fix me. They can't figure it out. I'm not responding to any of the medicines. All these, nobody knows. I thought I had Meniere's disease or something like that. I thought I was going deaf, because I had all these symptoms. And anyway, we were chasing neurology and on wait lists for specialists and stuff. But and I'm like, well, guess what, Liz? This is your time to leave your legacy. I want, I'm like talking to me saying, it's time to do your solo stuff without anybody saying, well, that's not cohesive. You can't do that. You're a rock singer. You can't do jazz. You can't do, you can't add these elements. Who do you think you are? Whitney Houston? It's like, stop doing those riffs. That's not rock. Sing it straight. Or, with producers and partners but I was completely and utterly alone. But I was really sad and frustrated because I couldn't finish it. I didn't have the chops. I didn't know what I was doing to push through to that. I'm like, I need somebody to help me mix and master this shit. I need it to sound good. Not only did I find that somebody, but that somebody is mentoring me to do it by myself. So I screamed to the ceiling. I was like, if you're listening out there, because I have feelings that were not just like some kind of a blip. I mean, everybody, you're entitled to believe your own thing. I've been on an agnostic quest for many years. I've done many things to come to the conclusion and that I feel like there's something more. And but whatever that is, it's all love, and it's not, judgy pants. It's not something to be afraid of. So that's where I'm going with it anyway. So I was just screaming to non-judgy pants, I am suffering. Please show me why I'm here, because I don't feel like I'm doing anything but throwing up and wanting to be on stage or do something with my music. And I have all these dreams and desires. So I'm like, please show me a sign, because I am going out. I'm going down. I'm really going down. And then the next day, or within hours, I got a message from a friend of mine in Canada who's a really talented and prolific musician, songwriter, very creative, and I will turn you on to him as well. But his name is Joel, or he called Corey Joel. I know him as Joel Thomas. So and he has a band called Red Heaven and another band. I'm sorry, Joel, if you're out there. But Drew, if you're out there, what's it called? The new thing. Anyway, can't remember. But he reached out to me about King Crimson, because he had made a post on social media saying, does anybody recognize what this is? I'm like, yeah, that's King Crimson album covers. That's all I listened to when I was 17. King Crimson, Kate Bush, Jimi Hendrix, nothing else. And So, and he wanted to talk about doing a duet on some King Crimson covers, and that led to inviting me to the Zoom chat group, which is just a small group of creatives that get together. And I call it group therapy because when I first came on, I needed it so bad. I just started bawling. I was just bawling. I'm like, I just feel like I'm dying, and talking about my trauma and my frustration and feeling stuck. And I have so much to give, but I just can't seem to get it over the hump, you know? That and they're like, don't worry, you're in the right place. You're in the right place. So I feel like this is my message to continue. I know this is my superpower, you know, and then I got the wind back in my sails, like, keep going, girl, keep going. And yeah, that was a game changer, and it hasn't stopped. So long story short, if it weren't for the Zoom group, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. And you know, having that extra, not just the mentoring, but also that push, like saying, you don't suck, you know, and I'm like, I don't. That's really nice to hear from somebody.
An incredible story, very inspiring. I love hearing these things, and to hear what you're producing now is just, it's, you know, and it just proves this is the reason I do these interviews. I want people to be inspired by artists. It's because you can listen to music all you want. You can listen to their music, but it's when you hear how they got to make that music is that shows people you can do it too. You can climb mountains. You can destroy goals that you think are unattainable. So you're live streaming, again, we say on Facebook. Now you have a Patreon, and I'm going to mention this because this is your source of income at the moment.
It really is.
All the links to everything you do, every single link I could muster is in the description. And so if you guys head over there and go and sign up to Patreon, but we're going to do everything we can to get you live streaming over here and get, you know, I just know everybody's going to be following you over here because your shows... Your shows are amazing. So go and check out Liz's Patreon and go sign up and help her financially as well. All right. We've only got a little bit of time left.
I can't believe it.
I know. I told you it goes really fast. Yeah. You know, it's crazy. So we're going to close the show today with another premiere, and this song is just tits. It is absolutely stunning. You guys are going to love it. I want to ask... what is the process for you right now making a song? Do you have a process that you follow?
Yeah, chase the rabbit. It's Alice in Wonderland. Every time it's different. But lately, like right now, I'm under the gun I have a very sick relative in America that I love desperately. And I have been unable to get back to America due to financial reasons. I'm not working. I'm on the dole. And, it's funny because don't tell people you're on the dole. I'm on the dole.
It is what it is, man.
It is.
I've been there. I've been there myself. So
yeah. So I won't get too deep into that, but I'm like, that's it. I've got to get back. And since music is my superpower, I'm going to push through as much music as I possibly can, put it up on Bandcamp. You could buy it for $0 or whatever dollars.
Don't do that.
But I do that. And I find that people that go on there usually buy it for at least $5.
They always do. And especially this community, like this, our YouTube community, they're amazing.
I can tell that. And I want to say thank you again for being here. You beautiful souls. Thank you. And thank you for, just thank you for having me. But what I'm trying to say is I've got music that I'm really, really feverishly trying to push together that I've got 3 songs right now. One is just I'm getting ready to pack my bags and go up there to see ya, sister song. And then I'm working on another. I'll have intention. Like I want to do a song about this. I love a brief and I give myself briefs. And right now I'm writing I'm going to travel and look out the window. And that feeling when you've got your bag packed and you know they're going to be there. And then there's the other one, which is just our friendship, a friendship song, which is also kind of a brief from the sync licensing. They're always looking for friendship songs, non-platonic love songs. And then there's the this is not goodbye song, because I'm going to go there to do the Swedish art of death cleaning. And that's the goal anyway, to have like a little party, to do some decluttering and talk about, what she wants to do with the rest of her days, which is she's pretty sick. Right. So this is what this is my motivation. Like, come on, Liz, get those songs done for her. And then, but also I'm going to put them out. I want to say only on Bandcamp. I sort of stopped dropping in the big. I did put She'll Be Right in distro and everything, but right now, like when I'm doing things to try to raise money, I keep it exclusively on Bandcamp. Yeah. Just to try to generate some funds. So that's where I'm at right now with that.
Very exciting stuff. So the Bandcamp link is in the description as well. Go over, buy every song. Or I'll find you. Russ says here, we're eager to have you on board in our community who love music. I mean, that's what it's all about here in this community, across so many channels. Like mine's just a tiny cog in the wheel, There's so many people who play people's music, and people it's more than just, mindless support. People are present and they care about what you do. Even here on this channel, we're doing a members only trivia show on Sunday, or Monday for us here in Australia. And it's all about questions about people in this community, because we have such a vibrant, huge community and we all follow each other. So I'm sure we all know heaps of stuff about each other, right? Let's see who's going to win that one.
Wow.
It's going to test your friendship, that trivia question.
That's fascinating. I love a game. It's fun.
So we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to hit you with the two last questions. And I'm more than happy to have you on again. And I already featured two of your songs this week on my channel. So there's all of that. But I love asking these final two questions because they're real bum burners. If you were stuck on a desert island, Liz, and you didn't have a volleyball that you could talk to, which album would you want with you?
Oh, God, that is an impossible question.
Told you it's a bum burner.
Shit. I don't know. I'm going to...
Remember, this will stay with you forever. No, I'm joking.
I might... Oh, God, because there's just so many different reasons for each one.
Yeah, I know. It's tough.
What would it be? Maybe... Well, maybe... Oh, my God. I'm going to have to say Songs in the Key of Life.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because that gives a little variety.
Locked in, done. You can't change it forever. It's embedded in this stream. The last question I'll ask everybody who comes on this show, if you were going to give advice to somebody who was starting out following their dream to make music or be creative, when do you think is the best time for them to start?
Immediately.
Correct. It's a trick question. It's always the same answer and we love it. That's why. So we're at the end of the show. I want to thank you for being so candid, so honest, and so you, and sharing your story with us all, for creating such wonderful music. And I know everybody's going to be really excited to hear more and more from you, because you are just a ray of light and just an incredibly talented artist, and one of my favorite artists that, you're on my playlist permanently. I just love your music so much. It's so rich. It's so deep. It's inventive, clever, just fun. Like, there's so much to what you do that is very inspiring to me. You're up there with my favorite artists like Björk and any other quirky female who blows my socks off. So thank you for doing that. You have
a moment.
You have a new song which you've been working on for a long time. This video clip, and I was lucky enough to be a tiny, tiny little part of it. Tell us about this song that I'm about to premiere today.
This one. Like I said, the non-romantic love songs are in high demand in sync licensing, which is another side hustle I'm trying to, and it's a long game. But so I had the idea, write a song called about family. And but it turned into this thing about unity, because I'm sick of the planet arguing over people being themselves. And it's just like, in the name of, well, God and gods and religion and other things, but people are just being so shitty to each other for being themselves.
Sure are.
And I just can't handle it. So I've been so that a lot of that went into this song, like really breaking it down to, a lot of these religions say love each other, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to that scripture? You know, what, why aren't we loving each other? You know, and that's my mission, is to, that's the footprint I want to leave on planet Earth, is love for everyone and everything, because it's all love, I believe. And so not only was I thinking about, because I'm always sad, I'm always homesick, no matter where I am on the planet. Because I love my families in both countries. And so it's like, it's hard for a highly sensitive person to be a dual citizen with a beautiful family in two different parts of the world. So I wrote family about that. But also now it has new meaning, because I'm using this song to raise funds to get back to the family in America, because once again, fucking cancer is doing some shit to people I love. Right. So anyway, I hope I answered that all right. But I wanted to take, like, I wanted it to be a blur of faces of diversity, because come on, you know, it's just all these beautiful faces going by from all over the place with all different religions and all different, you know, ways. And because it's all beautiful, and it should all be embraced.
You're not going to get any arguments from me.
Didn't think so. Yeah, I think we're like-minded there.
Let me cover a couple of things that are happening here on the channel. Tomorrow we have, that's a bit large. Let's try this. That's large too. So we have this happening tomorrow at the usual time, taking a look at the brand new sound pack for Logic and GarageBand, the Hardwell Producer Pack. Then following that, my friends, will be Walk With Me. The thumbnail's not ready yet. I'm still editing the show, so that's happening at the usual time. I took a walk to a place called Footscray and along the Maribyrnong River and flew my drone around over, so you're going to love that episode. Also coming up, I know it's Easter Sunday for a lot of people here in Australia, for my opening hour this week, where I perform live each weekend. I'm doing something different because Easter it's not something I celebrate really, but it is also this day, and it's very important to me, and that is Transgender Day of Visibility, where every year we have 2 days only each year where trans people, we have this day, March 31st, where we celebrate that we're alive and we haven't been murdered, because people just love murdering trans people for some reason. And then November 20, we have Trans Remembrance Day, where we count the dead. And every year society surprises us by adding a lot more people that they've decided to murder. So come along and join me for the opening hour this week. I'm going to be singing some really, really touching versions of my original tracks. And then just to let you know, if you're a member here on the channel, we are doing the Your Music Trivia number 2 with all these weirdos. Look at all these people from our community and so many more there'll be questions about. So that's the roundup of stuff happening here on the channel. All right, we're ready to go. Folks, I will automatically dump you over to Mr. Smith straight after this. He's already started, so you'll get dumped over to his channel. Go and support Mr. Smith straight after this. I want to thank you so much, Liz, for coming on here. You are just sensational. Anything you want to say before we go?
I feel like meeting Chad and meeting you is just another sign, you know, because I'm like, give me signs, show me what I meant to do. I feel like I'm just rotting, like you say, in Facebook. And I would really like to have a new audience, you know, that would maybe appreciate what I'm doing. Because I would like that very much. And I thank you for being a part of that little light of mine. Thank you.
You are welcome. Please hang on the call so I can say goodbye to you off air. And this is the premiere of Family, a message of unity for humanity by Liz Aday. Are you ready? So for the last time today, let me tell you, folks, stay awake. Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together. This is Family. Uru.
Uru.
I love saying uru.
Uru.
Let's go. Let's go. Ja.
We are, we are, we are, we are. We are, we are, we are, we are.